Hello and welcome to the Bold Black Girls Podcast. I'm Aries.
And I am Kim.
And we are, in this little virtual world now.
Corona Chronicles.
For real. Hoping for our podcast community that our microphones are okay. We're using a different platform. I am definitely using my work headset right now. So I never know what the audio is gonna look like when it's all said and done. So we got to be digitally transformed in this day and age. We have
And
moved into
agile.
the fourth industrial revolution. So we got to figure out different ways and methods. So every week you might see something different. This week you might actually get video.
And
Last
this
week
is
we had
what we
a
call being agile.
exactly we had an epic fail last week on our video, but trial and error. That's what happened.
Trial and error. I
Um.
mean, it's been an epic fail with this coronavirus, so
Oh my God! Like for real. Is there a way you can turn your microphone up? I don't know if you can. Look on the bottom of it. There's a little if that makes sense.
yeah. Is that better?
Make it turn up. So turn
Turn
me up
up.
on your phones.
Turn
There you
up.
go. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. There
that's
we
good.
go.
Anywho, and twist that light though, because it's like gleaming right into the camera. There you go.
Look
Look
at
at
the
God.
tech
Come
producer
on,
over here.
come on, somebody.
Podcast producer.
We gotta produce. We gotta produce. So how you doing? How are you feeling? Let's do a mental health check. Are you feeling still like I'm doing good, or are you feeling like I'm struggling, or are you feeling
Um,
like
I
this
feel
sucks?
I will be very honest with you. Like I feel good. I'm probably not gonna feel good when it's time to go back into work. I
Mm,
probably will be kicking and screaming, right?
kicking and
And
screaming, going back to work.
yeah, physically, because I'm enjoying being in my own space and smelling
Yeah,
myself and doing myself,
I know that's right.
right?
I hope that this does change things with companies, though. I'm thinking that they might see value in having their employees at home, more productivity, and they might can save some costs on some of these locations that they have that people not really wanting to utilize anyways.
Absolutely. And honestly, I'll be frank with you. Like, I feel like I've worked more working from home
You do.
because the time that I would commute,
Mhm.
I'm logged in.
Exactly. And then you
And
don't get off right away.
well, and I'm never disconnected, which is not always a good thing. So even tonight, I'm planning to log back on once everybody's logged off so I could get some things done without any interruptions virtually, right?
Mhm.
So I am good. I think I'm maintaining very well. I know there are some people out there that are struggling. I've talked to some people.
Yeah.
Um, I think about people who don't have it, who are doing this alone, right? That
Yeah.
could, I say I could do it, but I don't know because I haven't experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, I get a break with the boys, but I still have them. There's still human interaction there.
Exactly.
So it's not like I'm just closed off to everybody. Like my dad, he's by himself. He doesn't have anybody there with him. So every day we're checking in, like,
That's good.
hey, what you doing? What's going on? My mom's the
Right.
same thing where she's around the corner, so I can go drop something
Exactly.
off, or
You
whatever
can
with
wave
him.
off the balcony.
Exactly.
You
So,
can
but with my
physically
dad,
see
I don't
her.
have that. Yeah, if I want to see her, I can see her. If my dad, I can't get to him. So we're trying to do a little bit more there when it comes to see, checking in.
Good. Yeah. I think this right here, I know we're reading the book Relational Intelligence, and I was thinking, I said, this pandemic is going to show you who your friends are, in my opinion,
Right.
because who are you going to keep in contact with, right?
Exactly.
So you really, really have to be intentional about that. Like, even from a work perspective, you could easily say, oh, I see these group of friends at work. Well, you don't see them now. So how are you being intentional about connecting with everyone and still keeping in contact, right?
Oh, you know what we did at my job? They sent this thing. I'm gonna see if I can find it before we get. They sent something where every day of the month of April, there's something for you to do, right? So like today's was Connect with 2 coworkers that you haven't talked to in the last 2 weeks. On Wednesdays, there's like a workout thing where you can work out with our president or work out with our head of HR for 30 minutes,
I
like
like
at
that.
different times.
That's
So it's like
creative.
every day there's like something to like keep you busy kind of with your coworkers,
I
which
like
I thought
that.
that was kind of cute,
That is cute.
just to think about. Because I was like, you know what? I didn't think about who I haven't talked to in the last 2 weeks, at work and stuff like that.
So, speaking on that, I think we had a conversation about this last week. So, they did the same thing, right, in my department.
Hmm.
And what they're having are called virtual coffee chats. And so they break them out into small groups, kind of like church. You have your small group.
Hmm.
Well, they tried to delegate me as a team lead, but I took a page from Minda Hart's book,
Uh-huh.
and I felt like this is a non-promotable task. Do what value is it in it for me? And I assessed it, and although I'm that culture committee type person, I don't know what the value was in it for me at the time. So I had to respectfully decline. Give someone else an opportunity to do that because I've had plentiful.
I love it
Because
because
currently,
I'm not into that at all. Um, and I agree with you, and I'm glad you were able to decline that because it's not helping your career. You're still being held to your own KPIs and stuff like that. And so if this is not going to add value or be in alignment with what I'm working on, I'm sorry. I almost signed up for something and then I was like, girl, you ain't got time to be signing up for
you don't
nothing.
have time. And
Because
I'm
I'm that person where I would want to like, oh, I want to be involved in that. Oh, I want
yes.
to do this. But then I was like, Aries, you're trying to put things in alignment. Remember, this is not in alignment. So
And I
good
thought
job
back to
for
all
you.
those other times that I've done that and where did it get me?
Out of nowhere.
What was the value in it? You know how
If
to
it ain't
plan a
nothing that's gonna add to my like for instance, I feel like the work that I do with ATW adds to what I'm doing. It adds value to me, as far as what I'm trying to do in my world, right? I hope y'all can't hear this guy mowing the lawn in the background. You probably can.
I can't.
But I have a noise canceling thing, so I'm hoping
Headphones.
that it helps with that. Yeah, but yeah, so it's like I could see it in alignment with everything else that I'm doing. Other stuff, I'm like, this not really something I want to be involved in because it's not helping me with what I'm trying to do.
And I feel like also like I don't, I've been with the company for so long. It's like give someone who hasn't been with the organization that opportunity for them to get to know people because right now I feel like I'm at capacity and
Hmm.
I do not have bandwidth. And
And so you
so,
need to know that about yourself. Some
yes.
people don't even assess. They don't even assess what they have going on.
And I think sometimes Shonda Rhimes had that book Year of Yes, and so
Hmm.
I did that. Well, now I'm in a season of Year of No, so that I can say yes to the right things, right? Because you just have to say no.
Yeah,
Because I can't do everything, but there are some things that I can do, and so I'm at that. And that's in this current year is the year of no.
yeah. I'm not mad at you. I'm in there too. I'm right there with you.
We're on
And
the same page.
I will change over, like I will exchange something once I'm done with one thing, I can exchange for something else, that is also in alignment with what I'm trying to do, or
Yeah.
whatever, my goals and stuff like that.
So, how are
So yeah,
you?
I'm good. I'm still on I'm doing good
You're still on the
train.
up and up.
Yeah, so I've been trying to just continue to keep as much normalcy as possible so that I can maintain that for as long as I can. Because you don't know when the day is going to come when you're feeling like I'm struggling. That just kind of comes out the blue, I feel like sometimes. You wake up
Yeah,
one morning like, man, because I do have those moments where every other day or so I go, we really in a pandemic right now? Like, are we
unbelievable.
really not able? This really happened? And me and some of the girls were like, I was just like, if we would have known in January and February that this was how it was gonna be, I would have did more stuff. I would have went on some trips or
You
something.
you know
You
what?
got to go
People
to Cuba.
Yes, I did get to kick off my year to Cuba.
You
So
did. You did. When you came back and I was like, don't be coming back with that Rona. And you was like, what is the Rona? What's the coronavirus?
I
Because
remember.
you didn't have Wi-Fi and stuff. So you didn't even see what was going on. Because it wasn't in the US. I'm just like, oh, you in another country. Let me make a joke about her coming back, bringing some coronavirus. And you was like, what? That's
No,
how
but
quickly this
remember,
thing has progressed.
I came back and I wasn't feeling well. And I told you, I was like, I don't really feel well. Like I went to work and I ended up coming back home. I don't, it didn't
You
take me
probably had it.
it didn't take me 2 weeks to get over it. Well, then you were exposed to it.
I was. So that means I got the antibodies built up then.
And you was like, you probably had that Rona. And I'm like, what is this she's talking about?
Word not feeling well. I remember that.
You
Yes.
remember that? And I left work. I told my boss, I said, look, I said, I'm not feeling good at all. I don't know what's wrong. I just need to go home. And for a couple of days I kind of chilled out.
Did you have a fever?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
So
I
maybe
don't
that.
even know that I think I don't even know that I had a cough. I don't know what it was. I just wasn't feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
I
you know,
didn't like
they don't know everything about this stuff.
true.
That's what makes it kind of scary because it's like everybody can respond so different, to it. You got the asymptomatic folks that just don't have no symptoms and then they test positive. And then you got people who just on their deathbed basically.
Literally.
So it could be anything in those spectrums, I'm pretty sure. So um but yeah, I mean right now I was I think I talked about this, but how the schools, I'm like, they're not going back to school this year. I've been saying that. But then today I saw a little note where the Dallas ISD, I don't know if he's a superintendent, I don't know. But anyway, one of them was like, yeah, it's not likely, that the kids are going back to school. And I was like, just hearing them say it, I know that's how it's going to be, but hearing them say it was like, it's really real. So,
Well, and then I think, okay, if they aren't going to school, then what does summer look like?
yeah, I don't know. Well,
We haven't
it looks like trash anyways, just in general. So I'm pretty sure I feel like it'll be easier because I don't have to teach them.
true.
Like this week, I mean, they're still I'm probably gonna keep up. I'm probably gonna just get the tutor, have them have tutoring once a week or something like that, where they can continue to learn even in the summer because I feel like
They're gonna need it after this.
they're gonna need it. Yeah, exactly. Marvin and LJ, I'm gonna get both of them in on it. But last week was a decent week of um, schooling because it was a little bit easier for them to go through. I just had to make sure they're okay. Let's start y'all off. Here's where you're gonna go. This is the work you're doing today, and just they can go through and self-manage. LJ, I have to walk through it with him a little bit more, but Marvin, um, he's pretty good at like
He's pretty
self-managing.
self-sufficient. Yeah.
Yeah. LJ, he just needs someone to talk through the stuff with. He knows the answers if you talk with him about it. He just needs that.
He's
He's an extra
hands-on.
he's an extrovert. He needs to talk out his problems.
And see, and that's the thing about e-learning, like it's not gonna work for every child.
Yeah, because I'm getting emails. I just got a bunch of emails today and I was sitting here thinking, okay, I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed by these emails. Because he has dyslexia therapy he goes to every day at school. He has a reading and writing one-on-one teacher. Well, she does probably like 5 kids. And then math and science is with a different teacher. So I'm getting emails all day. And I'm like, do y'all think that I'm going to be able to do what you do with him? Which I'm like, they need to try to get a raise for the next year. I would say all teachers need to go on and let that union go on and hit that up because I would definitely pay for that with my taxes.
What would you say would be a great starting salary for a teacher?
If I could make their salary, nothing less than 6 figures.
I agree. So, and
They
my
deal with a
mother,
lot. They deal with
they
a lot.
a lot, and they not only deal with a lot, but think about the quantity of children.
Mhm.
So not only are you dealing with children, you're dealing with the
You're leading a
administration
team of 20 minimum.
minimum.
So to be a manager, you're a manager. your manager level, basically. And then you have to create the curriculum. You have to accommodate different needs with different kids. I mean,
I've always said I think teachers should be making six figures,
me too.
and I really hope now that this opens it up, right? Because I'm
Because
sure
these
parents,
executives are at home with their kids right now.
because I hear them on the conference calls in the background.
Exactly.
How much are you willing to pay to get them out your house?
Listen, I just feel like I remember when I was younger, I was like, why do teachers, this is like in middle school or something, I was like, why do teachers not get paid a lot and basketball players get paid millions of dollars? I never understood it. I just didn't. And it's mostly just because of entertainment and other people willing to pay. They're basically paying the player's salary, everybody who's supporting it. But I'm like, well, we should be supporting our teachers more
Who
than that. But
developed those basketball players though? Who helped develop them?
I know. I mean, it don't make no sense, none of it.
Does
But
it?
so gotta get that just get all that wrapped around in my head that school is gonna be done pretty much. So we only got another month and a half really left of school instruction anyway. So I'm hoping that after that, I don't want my kids just playing video games all day. I don't do that in the summer anyway. They usually are in a program, but um I don't know. We're just gonna be kind of.
I'm sure you can come up with a curriculum.
I'll come up with something. I will definitely come up with something. So yeah, now they saying we got to wear a mask everywhere.
Do you
Everywhere.
do you have a mask?
My mom has some. I'll just go get some from her.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. My dad
Sher-
got some.
Sharon wants one, and I was like, "Why do you need one? Because you're not going anywhere."
They said have you seen the people making the scarves out of like
Yes, the
masks that are
bandanas.
uh-huh. I thought that was cool. Because they really just saying like just
Cover and protect.
yes, it doesn't have to be the like professional ones, but um something to put, over your mouth and whatever. I'm like, this is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because I went walking yesterday and I didn't have a mask on.
I think they're saying when you're gonna have to be around, like if you're going to the grocery store, you should
Oh
have a
yeah,
mask. If you're
absolutely.
going to the pharmacy, if you're going to the,
Yeah,
somewhere you're gonna have to be in proximity of people where you can't really control that, then have it on. Like in the neighborhood, you shouldn't have to.
right.
But the pest control guy came over here to spray my house. They do quarterly spray, right? And he came up, I pulled my screen door, so I could talk to him through the screen. And I smelled his cologne. I was like, let me put it back up. If I can smell your cologne, that means I can smell you.
Everything else.
And I don't want to. It smelled good. But I was like, why you got cologne on coming out here to spray pest
I
control?
guess because he's saying he want to smell good too, even though he's spelling spraying pest controls.
Child. So yeah, we on lockdown pretty much. They said I think they prematurely put it out there about Dallas extending the stay-at-home order. Remember that?
Till May 20th.
Everybody got
And I think from a mental perspective, for some people who can't handle that, that was a bit too much. I feel like you say, okay, we're going to the end of April. When you reach that point, we know that we now need to extend it
and
further.
extend. I
Because
think that's why he tried to retract it.
yeah, I've heard he tried to retract a couple of things, even with the hospital down at the convention center.
Yeah, he
There was some
clarified.
It was some controversy
He
about that.
clarified. Yeah, he clarified, which I felt like I felt him on that because he's like, we all was on the call. Why y'all come off the call with something totally different? What we said was we want the hospital, but we don't need it right now because we still got capacity in our regular hospital. So yes, they're building a temporary hospital for the people that may need it. But why would we take people out of a good functioning hospital that's not at capacity yet? But we will in a week need that. So no, we don't want to get rid of it. We just don't need it for another week, basically.
So
He had
school's
me laughing.
done.
I said he went gangster because he was like, "Yeah, I got the same number y'all been had. If you got questions about what I'm doing," I was like, "Ugh, thug life."
He's a rebel.
I know.
He could perhaps be a rebel, which we'll get into more later.
Mhm.
But so school is closed, Dallas is closed, the US is closed.
Right.
Traveling is probably next, right? So
No, it ain't next. It's done. You ain't going nowhere.
this is true because here in Texas, we're at the border for Louisiana. What?
Exactly.
And if you come in, you have to quarantine for 14 days.
And if you go, so if you leave from Dallas and go into Louisiana, you have to quarantine for 14 days and vice versa.
Wow.
Yeah. We ain't no better. We right up there with them. We about to be right there with them in a minute. We haven't even reached our peak yet,
Right.
according to what they're saying,
Well,
which is
our county doesn't have a lot of to me numbers in terms of that we know of, and it could be because they haven't been tested. But
mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think like I know we said corona has no color. But since we've said that, the numbers are showing that blacks are the ones who are dying from the most percentage rather.
Yeah. I think a lot of it too is that, well, there's a couple reasons. Let's talk about the systematic reasons, which are we're the ones that have the most lack of resources and access to quality health care.
Absolutely.
Let's just start with that, right?
Number one.
I don't know how, I'm gonna just tell you from my experience and what I've seen, and I'm not even gonna say this is a media thing because my mom literally in her apartment building had to call the police on some folks who was having a party. Like, I've been seeing it out, I was like, maybe people are just perpetuating that and showing only the black people that are out still not social distancing and having
Mm-mm.
parties and stuff. But then just Saturday night, my mom was like, girl, these Negroes. And I'm like, she said, and I'm just like, why? Like y'all are up on it. You know what we're going through. Don't act like you're not seeing the news or you don't know. You know. The reason why y'all having a party is probably because of the fact that you can't, you're supposed to be social distancing, which is just crazy. I mean, and it was a whole bunch of people. So I don't know what it is that's making some of us think that this is not as serious as it is. Or, like
Yeah.
what are people telling themselves?
I don't
Um,
know either because I know there were reports in Chicago of people hanging out, having parties, right?
right.
And we'll get to party. I mean, as soon as we get over this hump,
But like, why can't we wait? I wonder.
we're afraid to be alone.
And I think a lot of us use our community for everything,
And we think,
like,
yep. And we don't
so
know
if
how to.
our,
We don't know how to be alone, right? Because we're
yeah.
so used to being always connected and turned on that we don't know how to turn off.
And some of them may not have access to the resources to be virtual. So they feeling like maybe we need to be together. I
True.
don't know. I'm just
And
trying
I
to think
just
of
think too,
something.
it's just is ignorance too, because you see this information, you just choosing not to be smart, right? And you're
You're
choosing
telling
not to
yourself a
listen.
lie.
Yep. And you think you're not immune to it.
Yeah. They probably still believe black people can't get it.
Correct. And when we're the number ones, is probably dying from it.
True. And I think the way that it's being communicated. I told my mom, I said, now, if one of the top people like Beyonce or Oprah or somebody was in a hospital bed with tubes in their nose, that's probably what it would take for some people to actually take this serious. It
I
would have
agree.
to be like a very
Prominent
prominent,
person. Yep.
known person that's like literally sick.
So it could have
And
been, yep, it could have been, say it was Kobe Bryant. Oh, we stand in.
mhm,
Because
exactly.
I don't know that we've had any celebrities die from it, like prominent.
And maybe I'm of the conspiracy theory. I don't even want to call it conspiracy theory. I just feel like some celebrities, I don't believe that all of them who say they have it have it. It's my personal belief. Um, did I talk about Slim Thug last week?
You did. He had
and
it, and
and
he
it's
just dropped
funny
a
because
song.
exactly, I'm like, he ain't had nothing. And another thing is he was smoking a blunt on Instagram Live like 2 days later. So I was like, boy, get out of here. And
Some
somebody
people
was
could
in
be
there
doing
saying,
that for
should you be
publicity.
smoking with the coronavirus? Like in the live chat. And it's been a couple little posts recently where people like, he lying, like he don't have it. So I think because people who are saying they have it, the celebrities that say it, they're just looking just like us. They look regular, like, yep, I got it, and nope, I feel good, everything is okay. They're like, okay, well, cool. If I get it, I'll
Yeah.
just be regular. you know?
Yep.
That
And they
could be
probably
some.
have resources to help them get well, right?
Hmm. That's true. Yeah, so we got to get it together, people. If y'all got cousins in them that's ignorant, let's get them, slap them out of it. Um, because we don't need these problems. We got
We don't.
enough problems in the community. This is not the time for us to be um
This is not
getting
what we need to
caught up
band
like
together.
this.
This is not
Yeah.
what we need to band together.
Yes.
Disperse and run and go to your respective homes.
Exactly.
We can band together at a later date.
Segregate. It's time for segregation. Yeah.
So, mommy duty.
Yeah.
You have a better routine
Yeah.
with the schoolwork.
Yeah. And I love that I get breaks. I'm taking it I'm taking advantage of those breaks with their dad, you know. Him getting them on Fridays after he gets off work and bringing them back. Like he'll bring them back tonight.
So,
Well, today is Monday, so he'll bring them back in the evening. Last week he brought them back Tuesday. I said he bringing them back early this week is at schoolwork. Having to keep them on, it ain't as easy as some
it's
people
not.
think.
So then
So
that makes me think about the single mom who doesn't get a break,
yes,
right?
they gotta just, you know what? And that's what I'm doing the same thing where I'm not sitting there with my kids all day going through the schoolwork either. So I got an email from LJ's math teacher like, I see a bunch of missed assignments. I'm like, you're gonna like we're getting through what we can get through. If we can't get through it, I'm not giving myself a hard time about it, and I'm not about to break his. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch to make him have to do some of that stuff either. It's just not realistic. Like typically he would be with you during the day doing this work. I would be doing this what I'm doing right now on a, I would be at work per se all
Correct.
day on a call on calls. I can't do that, and I'm not gonna be doing that all night long either. So there's only so much that we're gonna get done virtually while I have to work regularly as well. So I'm giving myself a lot of grace, which I recommend any other single moms to do as well,
Grace.
because they're about to get in bad grades.
This is true. This is true.
So do what you can to teach your kids in creative ways on your time.
Right.
Uh, Even with our job, like they're giving us flexible hours. I mean, I don't have hours per se. We're just like business hours, but like if I want to do a lot of work overnight, I could do work whenever I want. I think we need to be flexible with that as far as our kids too.
So I was going to ask you, since we just talked about working from home, that's something that you do. We talked about. I think I talked about it earlier. I work
Love
from
it.
home. I love it. Someone reached out to me, was like, "Hey, are you doing okay over there?" Just like really checking in on me, and I'm like, "I'm good." They were like, "I know you're struggling over there. You know, you're an extrovert." And I was like, "Actually, I'm not an extrovert, and I'm not struggling."
Hmm. People be
Like,
thinking that though, because we always be out, but they don't get that we do both. Like we can be out, we can be social, but we like being in the house. Both of us.
we look, I'm over here researching the trampolines, but I don't even have to worry about going to the jump spot.
Ever again. My coworker bought a above ground pool for her kids to get into while because she's like it's about to be a wrap, so we might as well go on. And I was like, I'm
That
not mad at you on that. I'm not doing that to my backyard, but
well, this is gonna be interesting navigating summer with coronavirus. I'm sure all pools will be shut down. Summer
yeah,
might be canceled.
I'm glad we had a hot girl summer last year.
You know what profession I think is gonna really spike?
Which one?
Psychologists.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For children, adults, because just having to be stuck in the house and not knowing, because kids are always, where we going next? What we doing? What are we gonna do this weekend? Right? People are gonna need psychology from this. This can really get
Yeah,
to your mental.
It sure can. I know our company, we just had a town hall today talking about the different things we're doing with our healthcare benefits that have adjusted because of this. EAP, that's increased basically to where if you want to call anytime for anything regarding this, you can call um, with kids, and all that stuff, like the whole nine. Which I wonder what are psychologists telling people? What is the answer? Because you still don't have like you don't really know. But I would say if you're a Christian counselor, this would be a great time for you.
I agree.
Because this is the right time to bring people to Jesus.
It is.
People are ripe for answers and something of comfort, in this season. And I feel like for pastors and Christian counselors, this could be a good
A great
witnessing
opportunity. I
opportunity to
agree.
bring people to Christ during this time.
Absolutely. And I work for a health insurance company, so I could absolutely see that. Um, I don't know that we got a notification about extension of our EAP benefits. I need to check into that
You should.
because I really think that that is something that they need to extend, right? I know one thing that we've adjusted is telemedicine, right? So we've always had it, but for the plans who didn't have it, now we're offering it to them because you want to minimize the number of people that are going to the emergency room.
Exactly.
So yeah, this
Did you get an
whole
email from our primary care physician?
I did not.
They sent an email saying that they are doing telemedicine now. Like any of your appointments, you can do um, virtually now.
Okay.
I'm
See,
like,
and
it's
this
gonna
is all
change the game.
interesting. This is a this disruption is a game changer. Like
It is.
people are now forced to allow your employees to work from home. You have no choice but to trust them
You
in
have
good faith,
no choice.
right? Until they show you otherwise. So why do we have to get to a pandemic to get to this point?
Forcing trust.
Forcing trust.
Except for some of these companies, I did see an article where they're like monitoring how they're like monitoring their whatever they're doing on the
Their
computer,
keystrokes.
all that kind of stuff. I'm like, now that, see, I can't.
Well, and we
I
talked
don't
about
like
this on the last one, right? How you treat your employees during this whole pandemic,
Mhm.
even down to that point, is going to show a lot. So, for instance, look at all of the people who were laid off from Sephora. You go on their
Mhm.
social media page, people are tearing them up. So, what does that do for them in their terms of their business, right? Should we go directly to Rihanna and order from her
I
website as
will.
opposed?
If y'all gonna do that, yeah.
Exactly. So, think about that.
Yeah, we're at 98% of our people working from home right now in
That's
my company,
amazing. I don't
which
know
is
what percentage we're
great,
at,
right?
but yeah. So that makes me like, I'll be honest with you. If I'm looking for a job, I'm looking at how they are treating their employees at this time right now.
Mhm.
That speaks volumes to, is this a company that I want to work for?
Exactly. I definitely would be looking at that myself anytime. I think everyone should be doing that for sure because it says a lot about how you feel about your people.
Yep. And I can't wait to see the case studies from this.
I can't either. It's gonna be
And kind of adding on to this whole professional impacts, I think we need to have boundaries. I did have someone reach out to me. Was like, "Hey, can we talk this evening?" I was like, "Hey, no, because I'm off. Like, just because I work from home,
Hey, no.
just yeah, that doesn't mean I'm still just easily accessible to you. I still have these business hours,
Yeah,
right? And
my
also,
business
depending on how
hours
you
are
treat me, will
perfectly
dictate if I am open in the evening, right? So I'm
true.
like, no, I've been up working since 7 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock, and I haven't even taken a lunch. So no, I'm not available this evening because I'm gonna go and do something for Kim.
Right.
Whether
Yeah, you
that
gotta
be
set
take a
those
nap,
boundaries.
yeah. So I still think that we need to have boundaries just because we're now forced to work from home, right? And I read something on Twitter. It was like, you're not working from home, you're working at home during a pandemic.
That is true. It's different.
Because given that we didn't have this opportunity or this pandemic, would you have the opportunity to work from home?
Mhm.
I was like, wow. So just keeping those boundaries in place and not allowing people to say, oh, well, you're working from home, you should always be available. No,
No, because guess what? I got kids here now. I don't usually have kids here, and I usually work from home, and now I got kids to deal
Well,
with. So yeah, I'm not gonna be my full attention can't just be this. I need some different kind of hours now where I can't just ignore my kids from 9 to 5. That's not reasonable.
well, and I don't have any small kids here, but I'm still not meeting in the evening, right? Because I have
No,
my
that's
own
right.
agenda. Where
Yeah,
that agenda might be a nap. It doesn't matter. So I just have to remember keeping those boundaries with people, right? And even like I'm not taking lunch like I usually do. Like when I was if I ever go into the office, I typically step away from my desk. I'm really not stepping away because it's like where will I go? If I
hmm
may take a nap. So what I've started to do is once a week, I'm like, let me find a lunch and learn. Someone's hosting something. Let me learn something during my lunch where I can disconnect from what I'm doing in my day-to-day job, but will help me professionally.
exactly.
So I did that today.
You did a lunch and learn?
I did. It was
What
about
kind?
product management.
Nice.
Yeah, it was hosted by, I mean, and most places are starting to offer free lunch and learns, like what they would have charged for you to come to their meeting, similar to what ATW is doing.
Yep.
Is now complimentary, right? Because you want to keep people engaged and you want to keep them coming to your brand. So once we are over this, they'll say, "Oh, well, I went to those free events. I'm willing to pay to go to this event once we get off."
Exactly. Our marketing director came up with the idea for our Connect Fridays lunch,
I love.
30-minute lunch webinar style to keep us, engaged. And it went really well. We did it last week. So,
Yeah,
um,
I was on. I enjoyed it, and it was 30 minutes, quick to the point.
yeah, because you know how it is. People don't have time, especially during the lunch hour, to be doing all that, you know?
You still want to eat, right? So you jump on 30 minutes, go grab something to eat or whatever. But yeah, it was really good, and I
Exactly.
like that concept that they came up with that. So that definitely keeps people engaged.
Yeah, it was interesting trying to learn all the how to work it. You got to learn these new tools now, when you're
Well,
doing different stuff. So
and when you learn new tools and new processes and skills, you can add that to your LinkedIn.
add it to your LinkedIn.
What I call it is hashtag LinkedIn skills.
I love it.
So we're good professionally. Personally, how are you maintaining balance? Like outside of being a mom, outside of being an employee, what are you doing to maintain that balance?
Pretty much keeping the routine the way it always has been. That for me helps me just mentally, So I'm still doing the same stuff as far as, my baths and, my Bible in the morning and,
Right?
listening to my positive, either my pastors, that I listen to or some kind of motivational speaker type of thing. So I'm trying to keep as close to the same routine as possible. Um, and for me, with the kids, I'm learning a lot more about them and they're learning a lot more about me because we're actually spending, a lot more hours together because typically they're at school. So you only get so many hours a day. Usually now we're like all day. So
Right?
you just learn a lot more. So for me, that's the main thing. Nothing else major. I mean, it's not so much more you can do because you can't go nowhere. So, obviously, like I said last week, you getting more people hitting you in the DMs
Mm.
or texts or whatever, trying to be, oh, how are you doing and stuff. You're like, oh, I'm good, great. And then
Well, I'll say this. I think I saw this on a platform. It was like, are you dating in this during this pandemic? I think it's a great time to establish yourself with someone because you are forced not to have physical contact. So you have no choice but to say, okay, you know what? Let me try and really get to know this person. Like this is truly like a virtually love is blind,
it is
right?
love is
It is
blind.
love is blind. And then as you're going through this process, like for me, post post corona while I'm dating, second question after I ask how many kids do you have is in my head, I'm going to assess whether I could deal with you for 30 days. Like, what if I could be
Ooh.
quarantined for 30 days with this person? So, can
I
you have,
think we need to. What if you establish a new thing where it's like we're gonna virtually date for 30 days before we go on a real date?
I like that.
Because then you kind of create your own space of saying, let's just talk for a while virtually, just like how we're doing right now,
Right.
and see, we have to have dialogue, we have to communicate, we have to look at each other, talk, and see, okay, you seem cool. I know people that'll say no because, like, I got friends that be like, I want to have a meet and greet ASAP, like to meet them face to face and see, is there anything? If not, why waste 30 days? I get it, but me, I got time. I'll
I
wait.
would do it. I mean, you can't see him now.
True.
So, I mean, I could say, okay, over a 30-day period, maybe you could see each other once every week. Once, right?
That's regular dating to me.
Okay.
'Cause
Once
I
every
ain't
2 weeks.
seeing that
Like how
much.
you get paid. You get paid on Friday, you can go see him.
None of this is gonna work, but it sounds
I
good.
mean, I'm game. I could do the I have self-control where I could do 30 days. Everybody doesn't have that. Everybody is
Well, most
like,
people, I don't even know if it's a self-control thing. I'm thinking about it now. I think it sounds good now because we can't see people. I
true.
don't know if I would probably want to wait either. I'd probably be one of those ones like, look, let me just meet you in person so I can see if there's any
Well,
chemistry.
you can meet in person, but then after you meet in person, have that virtual 30-day time period where you say, let me get to know you.
Yeah, we'll see. Look, let's see. But I do like that this is forcing kind of the communication. So I'm sure there's some people falling off of their relationships right now because they're realizing they didn't have anything but physical, and some that may be growing right now because they learning more about people before the physical or in addition to, what they had before. So that's I'm interested to see the data after this.
I want to see the case study as well.
What's the
I
data?
want to see the data of, okay, post corona, how many people have divorced, how
Hmm.
many babies are going to be born, um, how many people are have new relationships. That is actually, can the census do that? Since they asking for this information,
I
we need a
don't think they
part
can do
two.
that.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like we already about to go over time that we said we was going over. We didn't went over
Yeah, we
time
said it was
already.
gonna be 30 minutes, so we'll make it quick. So I'm maintaining my balance. Same thing, keeping the same routine. I struggled with physical activity that's not in a designated environment such as the gym. So I've had to be creative, and I've really had to push myself to remain physical. I had to challenge myself, and we kind of this weekend I shared a personality test, and we can talk about that on the next podcast.
Mhm.
But we realized we're both rebels, right?
Yeah, the
The
four
four tendencies.
tendencies. Yeah.
And so we briefly read up on it, and it basically said that meeting expectations, internal and external, as rebels, we have to be creative in a sense of meeting our goals. We don't like to be told what to do.
We don't even like to tell ourselves what to do. Ain't that crazy? Like, how you gonna be a rebel even with yourself? There's
Which
like you got to be creative with yourself.
right. So, but I thought about that, and I'm like, that is so me. Like, I had to tell myself, okay, Kim, you don't want to looking like you at quarantine 15 after this is all said and done,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So I'm like, okay, well, every day I'm going to do 10,000 steps, right? And I downloaded the Nike
Good
app,
goal.
and I'm like, well, I love Nike, so let me take advantage of this app and start working out. So I just had to be creative because I'm not for the virtual dance
You
party.
don't like the Zoom virtuals?
I don't.
Everybody be at their house and you can see them on the side. Like,
Yeah, not a fan.
I've seen a lot of people doing those.
And
I'd
I'm
rather watch something and do it than watch y'all. Why I want to see y'all doing it?
like, right.
I don't want to see unless I can hide the other people.
You,
I don't want to see it.
they
Just
can
put it
turn
where I
their
can see
video
the person.
off. They can
But
turn
they
their
want to. The teacher wants to see the people. I think that's who it's for. But if I don't want to see you, there needs to be a button where I don't need to see. I only can pick whose video I want to see.
Oh, now you
That's an
want to be
update.
selective.
That's
That's
an
an
update.
enhancement.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a product enhancement.
exactly. So yeah, but I've been walking. I walked today.
Good.
I've been doing I'm going the incline walk and then incline walk down. You know how you walk, and
Yes.
then each minute I go up an incline. My thing only goes to 10, the one I got at the house. And then I go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, like that. And then I walk a little bit longer if I have time. But that's kind of my quick workout where if I only have 20 minutes, I'll just do that all the way up and all the way down.
Right.
And I'm sweating because the incline starts getting a little.
So you're getting a workout in.
I'm on the beginner stages. So
Okay, that's
it
good.
ends up
So
being like
yeah,
a little over a mile.
I had to be creative because I don't. Someone said, "I'm surprised you don't have a gym," and I'm like, "Yeah, no. I have some like light weights and equipment, but I'm a gym chick. I'm a gym rat. Like
You want to be in there.
that's the extrovert part of me of going to the gym. That's how I get that out, right? So
Yeah.
like I could totally work from home, and my extroversion would be at the gym and networking events.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally good because they're like, you don't want to come back to work. It was something on Twitter. It was like, do you miss your coworkers? Nope, I don't. I don't. If I could be honest with you, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's no offense to them. It's just that I like being in my space in this particular spectrum of my life of work. Let me work at
Yeah.
home and not be bothered.
Yeah. I like it. I'm not mad at that at all. I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
healthy to know what works for you too.
and knowing this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like my next job, it needs to be at least 50 to 75% work from home
Yeah. It's
because this
definitely
experience has
possible.
taught me.
I look for that when I look for companies. Like
Yes.
literally, people are like, "You always work from home." Well, because I always look for companies that allow me to work from home. Like that was the selling point for me when she was like, "I work from home. I live over in this state, and I work over there." What? Oh,
Sign me
what
up.
else? Now let me go see what else I like about y'all.
Right.
So that's like a selling point for me because I value that a lot. So yeah, this is an interesting time. I think it's definitely time for us to really do a lot of evaluating and self-reflecting and seeing what I know for me, I've been reading our book. Um,
Yes.
we are still reading Relational Intelligence. Um, and it's getting deeper to me. Like I'm like, wait, I want to go back and reread that again
I do too.
because it was some good stuff. Remember, I sent you last night.
And I think using this time, like that's those boundaries. Like that time when you're off of work, use that time for yourself. I mean, when will you get this type of time again?
Yeah, and I mean, if your job allows for, because some people are at home and they're not working because they can't work from home.
Right.
Some people, but they might be still getting paid. Like if you're getting paid and you're not working, like definitely try to do as much as you can with this time if you can. That means even like what you were talking about before, like even if that means going to therapy and that's all you can muster up during this time,
Then do
do
it.
that. Because anything that helps you kind of cope with this or maintain your sanity, that comes first, right? Everything else, you ain't got to come out with a whole record, when you get done. If you're into music, like I know we probably sound like that. Like we sound like sometimes we like do this, get a new skill. Sometimes some people like I'm just trying to stay sane through
Yep.
this, and that's fine too.
Yep.
Just keep giving yourself grace for everything that you put your mind to during this time.
And I think that pretty much can wrap it up is that's the call to action. Like give yourself grace during this time. Like you said, don't feel like you have to come out with the NBA while
Right.
you're on this pandemic, right? Because everyone is different in how they cope. I need to keep my mind busy, right?
Too.
I have a schedule kind of similar to what you said. Like I still get up, I'm still listening to my podcast, my sermons. Have a schedule. Like I woke up this morning, I was like, something ain't right. Um, I didn't take a shower. Let me go take my shower
Nah, you was
first
like,
thing
something ain't right.
because well, no, because I was like, you know how you wake up and your energy is
It
different.
wasn't you didn't feel
I
refreshed.
didn't feel refreshed, and it was like it's just like when your internet page is stalling. You're like, I need to refresh. I had to
Mhm.
go refresh because mentally, I was like, I'm still in these pajamas, and
Right.
I put on workout clothes or lounge wear or whatever just to get my mind in this, for work or whatever I needed to do. So
Yeah, I do a lot of video calls, so I get up when I know I have a lot of calls. I put my makeup on, I got
yes,
dressed, Yeah, so when I got on the call today, I had coworkers that was like, I love your hair and you look so pretty. You got me looking crazy over here with my workout clothes on." Like saying little stuff. But I'm like, for various reasons, obviously. Like for me, I feel like it's just a requirement.
Hmm.
Even when I would go into an office where I have to come in looking professional, I can't afford to come in looking raggedy. That's just not how Black excellence works. Um, but also it helps me mentally work.
It
I
gets
feel
you in
like
that
I'm at
mindset
work.
too.
Yeah, so like
Correct.
I got on comfortable pants, but like the top half that everybody sees from basically the waist up, I'm looking professional. That's enough for me to feel like, okay, let me get things accomplished and do my job.
And that's
So,
actually one of the things that I did last week. And I could tell I just did it one day. And like
mhm.
you said, I just put on a work top and I felt different.
Yes. So that's a good call to action. Put on a work shirt
Well,
or a
and I'm gonna tell you
blazer
this,
or
not only
something.
just for that, you want to make sure you can still fit it, right? Because especially if you haven't been active
True.
and you've
God
been making a
good. I
lot
have
of
not gained no
stops.
weight.
You've been making a lot of stops to the refrigerator. You might want to put that. This is a notice. Go try those pants on,
True, because if you're wearing
especially
yoga
those
pants every
jeans.
day, you're definitely gonna be stretching, and you can try to put your one thigh up in that pair of jeans, and you'd be like, "Oh my God!" I've had that happen where like right at the mid thigh, you like, "Oh my
What
God,
happened?
I gotta
Like
lose
at
weight."
least once. I'm telling you, like once a week. Just
Yeah,
try them on.
I get on the scale though, so I've not gained no weight. I've been like balancing, trying to maintain, but now I am getting a little bit better with like, okay, now I took those braids out, my neck feels better.
You weigh less.
I'll probably weigh I weigh like a pound less. So yeah. But good call to action. What did we say?
Give
Give
yourself
yourself
grace.
grace. Yeah.
Put on your workout clothes
Know your
and
work clothes.
your work clothes. Yes, your work clothes. And don't feel obligated to have accomplished something major.
Right. If it's focus on your spiritual growth, your spiritual life first. Obviously your mental and spiritual should be in alignment. I think those are the main things to start with. Um, and then after that, everything else can kind of fall as electives.
Correct. I like
If you
that.
want to take an elective and you got time or energy for an elective, then be purposeful with whatever that is going to be. Don't
Yep.
just be out here doing whatever willy nilly. So yeah, yay! I like it. That was good. And we're gonna see how this turns out. I hope this turned out good. Don't forget, I do have on my Bold Black Girl t-shirt. Go online. We had a couple people placing orders while we've been in quarantine, so that was
Thank
cool.
you.
Um, Go ahead and support the podcast, boldblackgirls.com. Make sure you subscribe and rate. We got a review the other day. I was like, hey, we got a review. I get
All
excited
right.
like one review. I don't care. Um, to know that people are listening to the podcast and it's helping you in any way. It just be us talking. We just talking like we would talk any other time and
Any
recording
other
it.
time.
So yeah, all right, and then anything else? I
No.
think that's it. We'll be back next week. We might record a couple smaller podcasts. We were thinking about doing some extra stuff, so we'll see. Just be on the lookout. Check out boldblackgirls.com, see if there's anything, and follow us on Instagram at
Like
Bold Black Girls. All right, and we will see y'all next week. Have a bold